I'm Joni Labbe, and I do a lot of, I'm a chiropractor and a board-certified clinical nutritionalist, and what we do here is run a lot of blood work, saliva, fecal testing, hair testing for heavy metals, and from there we can make nutritional recommendations based on what specifically is off with you. And then as you change, we change the recommendations. This subject is near and dear to my heart because I have Hashimoto's, and the doctor's not supposed to be sick. So, now Hashimoto's is an autoimmune against your thyroid. It means that your body thinks that your thyroid is the enemy and it starts attacking it. See, in the end, Hashimoto's left unchecked ends up being low thyroid. But there's seasons where it's attacking the thyroid and you have hyperthyroid issues. So what happens is you go to the MDs and he's like, oh, your thyroid's too low, oh, you're having all these issues, now let's cut your thyroid prescription down, now let's bring it back up, let's bring it back down. Because they're basing it on just one thing, thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH, and I'll go into that in a minute. Hashimoto's is an immune, like lupus is autoimmune against organs, MS is autoimmune against the nerves, Hashimoto's is against the thyroid. So that's why we look at the liver and the adrenals and the lower intestines and the gut, not just the thyroid. This goes back to the thought on thyroid stimulating hormone. A lot of times people come in with blood work and they say, oh, I had my blood work run and it's fine, it's all normal. And all that was run was for thyroid was this thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH. And then also the reference ranges are more expanded than what was in this country for over 30 years. So these ranges, more people fall into normal, less burden on the system, the ranges were expanded. They're comparing your blood work to sick population base. And we also do a report that shows, okay, here it is compared to the expanded range, and here it is compared to a healthy population base. That's why we've got to test a little bit more. And we run a lot of blood work, and we get a lot of discounts on the blood work because of that. A lot of people that have hypothyroidism don't need thyroid medication because it's not the thyroid, it's the pituitary, it's the liver, it's the adrenals. We've got to look at the sugar control, the stress, the gut health, a sluggish liver, the hormonal imbalances, adrenal fatigue. Usually here again this is contributing and part of this whole syndrome. Fatigue, headaches, allergies, ulcers, feeling full and bloated all the time, that is huge. Can't fall asleep, dizziness. Dizziness is a big thing. And we don't talk a lot about that. We're going to have a whole seminar on just dizziness. So we do this test and we just send you home with this kit. And this tests your cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone. And you just virtually spit in these vials, morning, noon, night, midnight, and you fill up the little bottle with saliva, and you send this in to the lab with your paperwork, and it's a $120 test. I love this test. It tells us, are you low in progesterone? Do you have leaky gut? What's the cortisol levels? How's the DHEA, the ratio with the cortisol? Serotonin and dopamine. Serotonin's the happy hormone. A lot of people are on antidepressants so that their serotonin levels will come back up. Dopamine, this is more of the angry, self-destructive thoughts, inability to handle stress, slightest little thing, and it makes you feel jumpy. Dopamine, the connection with the thyroid, it stimulates the brain's hypothalamus to release thyroid stimulating hormone. So oftentimes when TSH is low, we are able to get that up so the thyroid is humming along at the right rate. What we like to do is set you up with a complimentary visit where we can roll up our sleeves, talk specifically about what's concerning you, see what blood work you already have. Sometimes they can springboard from what you've already got if it's not older than 3 months. And if not, we can find out, do you need a saliva test? Do we need a hair test for heavy metal? What's missing off the blood work and the thyroid panel? Well, thank you so much. It was great to have you.